Ramanuj. Hey, 100 button men on the street 24 hours a day. That Turk shows one hair on his ass, he's dead.
I never had a picture that made a voiceover game. You know, I mean, that made a game. You know, I had a couple that didn't even make it to the theater. This was the first time I ever put that many dots on my head. It was strange, it was interesting. It didn't feel like anything. I mean, they don't feel like they restrict you, but you know, it's sitting there and talking to a little round light. Never mind, send somebody with them. What made the picture successful and sort of timeless, that it really was not about, you know, the killing and the mob. It was all about family.
You spend time with your family?
Sure I do.
Good. Because a man that doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
The interesting thing was that, you know, you forgave everybody. I mean, you know, the biggest question was that a real horse's head, you know? Wait a minute, we killed 92 people. Nobody cared about that, you know, because everything was done for the sake of family. And you know, we had a lot of good young actors.
Get out of here. Private party, come on.
I remember grabbing some extras. Some poor guy was taking a picture of me outside of the wedding. And I grabbed this poor guy and I smashed his camera. I mean, of course, the prop guy went nuts. And luckily, Clemenza, he grabbed me. But I remember in my neighborhood, as long as you paid for it, it was okay, you know? So he grabbed me and I just took 20 out of my pocket and threw it on the ground. There was just all kinds of stuff that went on. I remember telling Pop I wanted to enter the family business, that I could, you know, learn to sell olive oil. The story goes that he could not have been a Don because he was too emotional and he didn't act with his head, he acted with his heart. Sonny was just, you know, hot-tempered. They shot my father. That's business, your ass. And basically, the rest of it, I just try to be Don Rickles, you know? I just bust everybody's chops from morning till night, so it was fun, you know?
Hey, kid, listen. Believe me, if you ever have 100 guys with guns on your side, whatever you do, don't trade them in for some fucking lawyer.
I've never seen anything like this. This is pretty wild. This was one of the great characters of all time. Richie, I'd be talking to Bobby, and Bobby would go, damn it, my watch. My goddamn watch stopped. So Richie'd come over and he'd say, let me see the watch. He says, what? He said, come here, I'll fix it. Take the watch off, you hand it to him and he'd go. Mind you, he believed I would. And he'd take the watch in his hand between his fingers like this, and he'd press the glass in the back of it. He goes, okay, here, it's better now. I walk away looking, nothing changed. Another time he had somebody's car didn't start. He goes, get away, get away. He picked up a rock. He knocked it on the block 3 times. He says, okay now. I walked away. Nothing happened. He was a great character.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Thank you for dinner and a very pleasant evening. If your car could take me to the airport, Mr. Corleone is a man who insists on hearing bad news immediately.
That is great, thank you.
So I've been recreating scenes and adding new scenes as my character, and going back in time and drawing from my memory of what we did many years ago.
Oh, Tom Hagen. Merry Christmas. Hey, I'm glad I run into you. I want to talk to you.
Well, I haven't got time.
Make time, consigliere. Get in the car.
There's a connection with the past that's just there, just kind of offhanded laying there that just came, which was nice.
What are you worried about? If I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead already.
I think it's a bonus to have the real people in there, I would think. Yeah, to have the real voice and the real people, you know, and hopefully bring some of the real feelings from way long ago to be in that, to go into the new form.
Tom, can you get me off the hook? For old time's sake.
Can't do it, Sally.
A lot of scenes I enjoyed doing. I enjoyed that last scene where I tell Brando where Sonny's died, and
Consigliere mine. I think you should tell your Don what everyone seems to know.
To fictionally tell somebody that their son has been murdered, and if you're relaxed enough, the fiction form can approximate life.
They shot Sonny on the causeway. He's dead.
It was kind of happened that way when we did it.
What about Bruno Tatari? It's part of the deal. Bruno cancels out what they did to my father.
Sonny, we ought to hear what they had to say.
No more. Not this time, Consigliere.
What you're trying to do is to relate it to the movie in a legitimate way, how there's a definite link.
No more. Not this time,
Connection.
Consigliere. No more meetings, no more discussions, no more Salazzo tricks. You give them one message. I want Salazzo. If not, it's all out war. We go to the mattresses, all right?
If people get that, and that would be their reward, that it is like the film and that it is connected to the film.
Your father wouldn't want to hear this. This is business, not personal, Sonny.
They shot my father. That's business? Your ass.
Even the shooting of your father was business, not personal, Sonny.
Well, then business will have to suffer, all right?
It's a new world for me, because I don't know much about video games, but, you know, it's pretty interesting, pretty complex.
Just help me try to win this thing, okay?
Godfather. That simple word used to have a very benign and kindly definition. That is, until the summer of 1972, when it took on a whole new range of meanings. Menace, fear, family, and power.
Someday, and that day may never come, I may call upon you to do a service for me. But, until that day, accept this as a gift.
The Godfather became an instant classic, influencing films, hip-hop, sports, and pop culture. More than just a movie, it weaved itself into the fabric of society.
People are infatuated with The Godfather. It never stops. Like 24 hours a day, every weekend of the year, and you always find yourself watching this movie.
You don't get no more classic than The Godfather.
Everybody loves a rebel, everybody loves a bad boy.
I think The Godfather happens to be one of the most entertaining films that I've ever watched.
Your business is a little dangerous.
Set the bar real high, so that's why you have so many good gangster pictures, because of movies like Godfather.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you? I'm a superstitious man.
A book, an Academy Award-winning movie, and now a video game. We will look at how The Godfather continues to shape modern culture.
And if by chance an honest man like yourself should make enemies, then he would become my enemies. And then they would fear you. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
I must have been about 12 years old or 13 years old when I first seen The Godfather. And it had a strong effect on me. I mean, to say the least. I was young, and the characters were like heroes. We was all hood kind of street kids, right? So the gangsters was always, you know, exciting.
These movies was like classic all-time great fights to us, you know what I mean? One thing about mob flicks is like they strive off of principles, you know what I mean? And you know, everything is always being humble and, you know, getting at whoever you gotta get at.
I wanted to be part of it, actually. I wanted to build an empire or something that resembled what they had as a family.
The main thing I like about the whole movie is there was good guy villains, but, you know, they stressed the importance of family. From them to their kids to the kids to kind of build like a legacy.
We never thought about it being a gang movie. We thought it was part of life. What the street was about, money, power, and respect. It was always that old head, that OG on the block that commanded that respect.
It was just the whole air of how fly the Godfather was and how everybody treated him. I think that whole cast for the Godfather was just incredible.
What did he say?
James Caan, brilliant acting. And watching Marlon Brando give one of the greatest performances of his life was the most impactful to me.
Godfather, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
At the heart of every great film is an unforgettable scene, and The Godfather is no exception.
When Sonny beat up his sister's husband, when he beat up his sister, like, what the fuck was he thinking? Beating up the Corleone princess, like, is he on drugs or something? Like, Sonny bust his ass so old school style with the pointy shoes, hit him with the garbage can on his head, threw him in the water pump, like, that was a classic ass whipping.
This is how I say sometimes the strongest motherfuckers be caught around some of the weakest motherfuckers.
That was a real good scene, you know, and very true to life. I've seen that happen in my neighborhood.
You don't understand. Johnny Fontaine never gets that movie.
He came to him with a proposition. He tried to be fair. You know I'm a man of power, and you gonna try to play me? Where your favorite horse at?
That was crazy. I thought that was so gangster.
The Godfather may not have invented the term Don, but it underscored the rawest interpretation of its meaning: power.
A Don is me, man.
The Don is the man, you know, he's the head of the household. He's the speaker and everything else is up underneath it. You know, he speaks and everybody else listens and he passes it on through each level of the family.
A Don is a very elite person and also loved person, a feared and loved person.
It means you gotta be good to the people, you gotta treat everybody the same, no matter how influential they are, and at the same time, always be thoughtful of your community, of your family, you know, and just use loyalty and respect as the code of life.
Like a term of respect, I mean, because that means you're the head, you're the leader of that particular family, you know.
You know, people were scared of him.
He got smarts, you know what I mean? He tell you the truth. You know, he's a provider. He just do all the things that a real Don is supposed to do.
You know, once he speaks, it's final.
I could relate. I could relate to Don Corleone. I'm a DON, you know what I mean? I handle myself like a real Don.
It also carries a lot of pressure because you got a lot of people coming after your head, you know what I mean?
It's a kind of a sexist idea. The man's in charge. Protect keep everybody else in the dark. And want to protect everybody else. When everybody else gets to go to church. But they want to go and do what they have to do. You know, break whatever rules they have to break to protect, preserve the family.
It was how he carried himself. And it was also about how the people perceived him and the people around him, what they, you know, how they carried it, how he was untouchable.
The Godfather story may be about living the volatile life of a gangster, but the underlying themes are much more powerful.
You spend time with your family?
Sure I do.
Good. Because a man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
Family, very important. You know, in an age where family is perceived to be less important by some. The Godfather will come on, right, and here's all these people that are gangsters, that break the rules, but they don't break the family rules.
These men of honor, they too are my family. La Familia Corleone.
Even for nowadays, like, families is instrumental to everything you do. If you don't have a tight-knit family, some real brothers or sisters that you can trust and put your life into their hands, then you're really not gonna progress in anything aggressive.
The family thing, I mean, that's how I feel about what I do is family. You gotta stay tight-knit, you know what I'm saying? It's hard in the industry, the streets, or whatever, and when you got a family that backs you, you get good results.
I want you to rest well, and a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
You know, it's based on your word. You know, your word it meant everything back then. Not the money, not all that. It was just about the word and the respect that one family had for another. And once you cross that line of respect, then, you know, you get out of line, you get whacked.
To get respect, yeah, it's definitely important. I'm saying, but bottom line is you got to give respect to give respect.
What have I ever done to make you treat me so disrespectfully?
You can have all the fucking money in the world, but if you don't have the respect, money don't mean shit. People just walk all over you.
Let me lay it on the line for you and your boss, whoever he is. Johnny Fontaine will never get that movie. I don't care how many Dago, Guinea, Wop, greaseball, goombas come out of the woodwork.
I think respect is an important theme, whether it's a gangster film or in real life.
When I hear the words Godfather, or I think about the movie Godfather, or even the game Godfather, I think about everything that I built my whole career on. Family, it's every honor, you know, power, you know what I mean? Getting money. And it's certain things that I won't do, no matter how much money is involved. You know, it's just morals. You know, it's things that I truly believe in, and I think everybody should stand for something.
I have a lot of friends in politics. But they wouldn't be friendly very long if they knew my business was drugs instead of gambling, which they regard as a harmless vice.
Loyalty was definitely in the movie. And if you wasn't loyal, they'll kill your ass.
Tell Mike it was only business. I always liked him.
When someone's dead wrong, you just have to put them in a position where they have no choice but to be dead right, or be dead.
Back to the respect and honor, you know, it's like everybody feels like they want to whack somebody for lying to them or for double-crossing them.
There's so many different things in there that just, every part teaches you something different.
The power of The Godfather is undeniable when looking at the way the film has influenced hip-hop culture.
If you're gonna reference something, you reference the best. And Godfather is the best of the gangster movies. So whenever you're talking about doing something that's gangster, you reference The Godfather, everybody gets it.
I know a lot of rappers out there who take on the moniker of characters from, you know, Godfather and these other gangster movies, but, you know, everybody wants to be a boss. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole money, power, respect thing.
Yes, Godfather.
With this music, the urban music, hip-hop music, The Godfather is a huge influence on every artist that comes out, I believe, wants to try to do something that mimics them. I got Marlon on my arm, actually, tattooed. I wish you could see it.
It got a lot to do with the hip-hop culture, and that's what we do. We watch movies, and we sit back and be like, oh, man, how cool is he?
Not just hip-hop culture, but the whole world's infatuated with the mafia dons and Don Corleone, and their family's like the greatest mafia family ever lived.
Oh, this definitely influenced Godfather in all music, and especially in hip-hop today. You know, that's one of the classic gangster movies of all time.
I think a lot of people try to use more or less a handshake and a vow of good faith over a lot of contracts and how they handle business and how they kind of conduct themselves on a personal note.
In the beginning of The Godfather, at his daughter's wedding, when everyone was coming and talking to him, I totally understood how that could feel. You know, a lot of people's problems that aren't yours automatically become yours, and the help that people expect from you, and it's almost like your responsibility at a position of strength to help, and you do.
Good luck to you, especially since your interests don't conflict with mine.
There's a fine line that separates the hip-hop genre from the streets, but you know, you can allow yourself to play both sides if you do it strategically, you know, which is not forgetting where you come from.
The whole thing about having a bunch of people working for you and around you, and you know, you being untouchable, and the nice big pretty cars and the nice suits.
Just the way, you know, they dress so clean and so sharp just to be lounging around the house and having just regular conversations is incredible. So the fashion statement that was made in that movie, to be made at that time that they did it, was incredible as well.
Well, everything in hip-hop is about style, and there was definitely an era in hip-hop where they embodied the Godfather style, and they really embodied that gangster hip-hop look. And when Fat Joe did that Don Cartagena, you know, they were wearing the suits. And there was a time where, you know, people put away the baggy jeans, and they started really embodying that Godfather look.
They call me the Don Cartagena. We very influenced by the whole style of it, the way we dress. You could have seen people like Puff Daddy, whoever, Biggie, Fat Joe, Pun, whoever you name, Eric B. and Rakim, when they had the Tommy guns and the old school cars back to that day of hip-hop. That was off the Godfather.
It's definitely something gangster about having like whatever, you know, the newest car is, you know. Those guys, the cars they were driving were, at that time, was top of the line. You know, so you can compare the car Marlon Brando's into, you know, Jay-Z's Phantom.
Back in the Godfather days in the 40s, the Cadillac was the main car to drive. When they rolled up, everybody knows them coming. Like you see Al Capone, you know, you'll always see him
in a Cadillac, and maybe some of his crew behind him, they all had Cadillacs. They had the curtains drawn, and just to kind of like conceal who they were, but you knew, once you seen that car, you knew. In the hip-hop industry, the cars are a status thing. People dream of having cars like that. That may be the first thing they go out and buy is a Rolls Royce. It goes back to the money, power, respect thing. When you see a Rolls Royce Phantom pulling up, you know somebody important is about to get out of it.
Although we're making music and it's entertainment, we live our lives as if we're Dons and our crews are capos and all that. So, you know, the Godfather taught us how to live right.
Some lines in the film have become as legendary as the film itself, taking on their own life and meaning.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse, yeah, of course.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
That's the beauty of a video game. I can live now. I can actually run out of the car, say, you know what? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. You eat the cannoli, I'm gone.
The Godfather is so powerful it has transcended from book and film into the world of video games.
There's certainly been a lot of video games that emanate from film, and now we're making an interactive adaptation of a classic film.
So I look a little more intimidating. Let's talk to this artist. Let me have a little word with him.
Take two. I'm a gamer, so I'm full-blown, full gaming. I read, I watched, and now I can play. You mean based on what I do and the questions that I ask?
What do I need to do?
I'm gonna get different responses. Get out of I'm playing this. I mean, I'm gonna smack some people. I'm gonna talk to some people, try to get it out of them, and I'm gonna have to knock some people off.
It's not generic in any way. It's 1945, and you know, there's certain laws and rules and regulations, the way things looked, the way things acted, the way cars drove, you know, the types of guns there were, the way people talked to each other.
Even the shooting of your father was business, not personal, Sonny.
Well, then business will have to suffer, all right?
I kept talking like that, actually, to be honest with you, because I got better tables everywhere I went and everything.
I noticed that. Yeah, over here, bada bing.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Most of the time, people want to play the games of the movies that they like to see.
Drugs, sex, murdering, racketeering, police corruption. It should be a lot of interesting things in the video.
The Godfather is a video game. I think that the shoot 'em up games always win. And like I said, even if you have your specific area of games that you like to play, man, a good shoot-up game is always great.
You can change the course of fictional history, right? As you do things, you can change and have options. I'm sure it's very fascinating for an audience to do that.
Right.
That's gonna be gangster right there, man. See, that's the type of games I play, you know.
Pop, God damn it. We need some help here. What's this guy, watching a movie? Get him out of here.
It will be a thrilling ride as players can join the family, work their way up in the business, and actually become a part of this incredible, iconic film.
You're invited by the Corleone family to join their ranks.
Hey, son, we'd like you to become an associate to the Corleone family.
And then by carrying out family business, extorting, taking over, completing missions, completing hits, basically doing what the family asks, you're able to work your way up through the family.
You work along the likes of Michael and Sonny, and those guys mentor you and tutor you as you try to rise from a lowly outsider to top don of New York City.
Yeah, well, you're getting a great reputation. I hope you're enjoying it.
One of the things that we've done is with the control mechanic, we've adopted this, what we're calling the black hand control scheme. The game is a very visceral feel in the controller. So while you manhandle your controller, you manhandle your opponents on screen. With that, you can then manipulate him, throw him around left and right. And to go in for the kill, you can actually strangle by clicking down.
Strangle him a little bit. Let him know how you really feel.
You're gonna whack him today.
You've got this spine of missions that you have to complete, that you have to do to progress through the time and through the movie. And then at certain points along there, you meet other characters.
Hey, you gotta help me get my pop to the hospital. Get in, we'll follow the ambulance.
You're actually part of the action. You're part of those scenes, those famous scenes from the Godfather film. You actually get to be part of the movie.
We've done quite a bit of research trying to not only capture the Godfather fiction, but what it felt like to live in that era.
Hey, hotshot. Glad you could make it.
We're going to let you make day-to-day, minute-to-minute decisions which have consequences.
Come here, I got a good one for you. Geez, I sure hope he wasn't planning a vacation today.
I'm all ears. Once they step out into that street and start living it, as it were, getting out in that world, they're going to be blown away.
Sorry, Johnny. It's just business.
You are old enough, and the time is right. You will take your revenge.
No, I'm glad you're on my side.
Today, we'll set a course for all our futures.
I think if the game is that intriguing, it might make you, run back and try to see, like, let me check this movie out. Because I'm sure the video game is going to be incredible.
We're attracted to dark themes. They're entertaining. They explore the dark side in us. They remind us what not to be. We think their contradiction is so much worse than our own, but they're more honest in some ways.
My values from that were all positive for me and influences in my life because they were very respectful to women. Very respectful to the marriage process. Very respectful to, if you were the boss, then you were the boss. There was no ends about it, and you would die for your family. Those things were all important in growing up in my life.
People gonna be referring back to that movie forever.
I think the movies probably take what they might interpret from a lot of music and bring it to life on TV. As per se, we do in the music, we get influenced by different movies such as, Godfather 1, 2, and 3.
Although it's a gangster flick and it's very violent, it teaches you a lot of valuable lessons in life that you need to know to get through life in this cutthroat world.
I don't think The Godfather tells you to be violent. I think it just, gives you like a code of ethics to live by. I think that's what people get from it. There's a lot of good in The Godfather.
Let me say that I swear on the souls of my grandchildren that I will not be the one to break the peace we've made here today.
The Godfather. Each of us takes from it a different message, a code to live by, or a lesson learned. The Godfather's impact is timeless as its legacy continues to evolve.
I think it should be a Godfather 4. Now listen to me. Now, Vincent is the man now, you know what I'm saying? So they should have how he's taking over the family, because he's got some retaliating to do now. They just popped Mike's daughter, they should have Mike and how he gets older, you know what I'm saying? And he finally passes on and Vincent's heated because Mike, see, this is the set, look. See, Mike makes Vincent promise that he's not gonna retaliate because he wants out, right? So.
Keep the car running.
The Godfather game is based off of the first Godfather film and the book. So we draw from both of those sources. And then we weave additional story. So we've got the film, we've got the book. We needed to respect those pieces, but we couldn't fear them. We had to take this fiction where we needed to take it so that we could produce the best possible piece we could in the video game or interactive arena, and that's what we think we've done with The Godfather.
Don Corleone sends his warmest regards.
In the interactive game, what's really cool is you get to create your own character and put yourself in the world of the Corleones, in the world of 1945 New York, in the world of crime, and figure out how you can use the game mechanics, the rules of the game, to go from being an outsider to being a soldier to being a Don.
People are going to find many things that are recognizable both in the living world, the open world game, as well as in the specific missions. For the fan of the fiction, they're going to see all the famous movie scenes that they always expected to see. They're going to interact with the Godfather characters. They're going to have the opportunity to see themselves right there with the Marlon Brando Vito character, right there with Sonny, right there with Tom. And they're going to see themselves immersed in the Godfather film.
We need some help here. God damn it.
From day one, the vision was really to recreate a Godfather world.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
So we've worked with Brando, we worked with Duvall, we worked with Khan, we worked with Abe Vigoda, and those talents, those actors, are so associated with their parts. It was really important to us for us to be able to leverage their skills, to hear their voice.
What's this guy watching a movie? Get him out of here.
It really lends a very strong sense of authenticity to your experience.
If you're going to be one of our associates, is the power of negotiation. Even with the way things are now, especially in times like this, use your head.
Behind every one of these video games is a fantastic team. We've pulled together people from the film industry, from the game industry, from the literary industry, from a variety of different places, looking for people who wanted to make magic.
It's been a very complicated process from a technology point of view, from a new game design point of view. Each area we were in, we were taking on a lot of risks, but we knew we wanted to hit it out of the park. One of the things that we're really doing is saying, that's a fascinating world. You've been fascinated by it when you read the book, you were fascinated by the film. What would it be like if you put yourself there?
Someday, and that day may never come, I may call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift.
Music drives the emotion. We knew that it was going to be really important. We also knew that we needed a lot more music for this game than was ever in the movie. We eventually chose Bill Conti and Ashley Irwin to be our composers for this project. Bill is an Academy Award-winning composer, and we went with Bill and Ashley because we felt they had the technical chops to do a game, which is completely different than doing a movie.
You cannot not identify the Godfather without that music. So you do an homage to Nino Rota and the music that he wrote. As a composer, I love the fact that I have to manipulate Nino's music to Godfather moments. And I'm honored to be a part of it.
Interesting, in the movie, it's all transitional. So we knew right away that we had to re-record all those pieces and add a whole lot more.
There's no action music in The Godfather. There's nothing. There's nothing with any energy in The Godfather. It's all mood. So all the gun battles and the driving scenes and all that, it may be derivative of Godfather thematic material, but it's all going to have to be invented by us. These are sort of big shoes to fill. If you put that Godfather in that special place and the Nino Rota music, and you go, wow, I got to, step up to the plate here a little bit,
Music provides an emotional push, drama, helps tell you what to feel, and sound effects make it believable. Sound effects, in my opinion, bring the world to life. On a game like The Godfather, the sound effects put you in New York, 1945 to 55. We have people walking down the street. You have cars driving past you. You have trucks driving past you. So the world of The Godfather sonically is huge. You've got the detail on one side that creates the believability that lets you feel like you're really there and you're talking to a real person.
We really shouldn't. But we will.
And then it scales all the way across to what's exciting, what's scary, what's just overwhelming. It's quite a challenge to create that whole spectrum. Our game audio, for the most part, the player lives and breathes with the controller in his hand. He lives in that world. We don't know what he's going to do next, of course. So our audio technology, our audio design has to support whatever choice that player makes. You want it to be consistent because you don't want to break the illusion. You want to keep the player in that illusion that they are in New York City, 1945, and they're part of the Corleone family.
When we came to examine the movie and get inspired by the movie and get inspired by the book, we realized that because we were creating a Godfather world, we needed to tell more than just that story. But to use that story, a famous and fantastic story, as a backdrop and as a sort of spine to where we're going, meant that we could develop our story around that. You've really got to respect the movie. Has certain elements, has a certain atmosphere, has a certain feeling. The characters are written in a certain way, and trying to keep juggling all those and make it a very playable, interactive experience. It's a huge challenge. People say it's not rocket science, but it is.
From a visual standpoint, the biggest challenge is probably trying to create a world that is reminiscent of the Godfather milieu. So it was very important to get the lighting right, to get the characters looking right, to get the textures looking right.
What the hell?
The Don is Dead was an effort to show how it was possible to combine cinematic technique with actual interactive gameplay. We started out by storyboarding it extensively, going through many revisions, then doing what's called an animatic or a board-o-matic based on those storyboards, where they were taken into the computer and animated in a very rough fashion and put a soundtrack to it and music, and sort of saw how it was all going to play out and gave us our first taste of what the game might feel like. Pre-visualization, like The Don is Dead, is really essential to communicating to the team the essence of what the goals are.
As long as the tone is set and the tone is correct, then I think that the lovers of the fiction, the lovers of the movie, sit down and play this game and interact with it and really feel immersed, really feel that they've become part of the story that they know and love so well.
In the Godfather game, the living world is the environment in which the player plays the game. It's an environment where their character exists, and it's an open environment that the player can explore and discover different parts of the Godfather game and different parts of the Godfather fiction. We've created a living world of New York set in the late 40s, where we've modeled and created 5 different neighborhoods. We've created New Jersey, Midtown, Little Italy, Brooklyn, and Hell's Kitchen. What we really wanted the player to feel like was that they were living in the movie. We wanted players to feel like they were walking around New York as it was set in the Godfather film.
You
You have to take a certain scene that's very, very well represented in a film and from that scene build a large interactive world. So we did a lot of research as to what buildings would have looked like. We have piles of books and films and photographs, all visual research of New York in the 40s. We actually had an architect on the team for several months who did a lot of plans for us. So all of the facades that you see in the game, the buildings, they should be accurate to what architecture was like in New York at that time. We got immersed in it. We were very, very interested in making sure that we represented this as accurately as we could.
The first thing you do when you build a living world game is you create a map of the world. And we went block by block, setting up different buildings and setting up different buildings from scenes in the movie and setting those into the game where the player can walk by and experience them and see them as they would see it in the movie or in late 40s New York. Our goal for creating the living world for The Godfather was to give the player a lot of freedom and choices of gameplay they can experience. You can go from the streets right into a building without ever having to experience a load sequence. You can even grab somebody in an interior and throw them through a window out into the streets. And of course, beat them up when you get them out there.
We want people to have a sense of feeling that this is a really rich environment that's alive, to see how accurate we are with the buildings, with the architecture, with the streets, the cars, the clothing, the landmarks of New York. I really hope that when they see this New York that they will feel that it's a world that, first of all, they can be immersed in, and it is really New York in the 40s.
We really like to get the film actors involved in a game like Godfather because it's a really iconic movie. You really just get that from the film actors, and they own those roles. They know exactly what those roles are, how those characters behave, and they're able to give a flavor of that actual character.
You know, for old time's sake. We're reliving what we did in 1971. It's always been with me. It was an easy job for me. Didn't have to memorize because I already was in here. Forget about it.
So I've been recreating scenes and adding new scenes as my character, and going back in time and drawing from my memory of what we did many years ago. Sonny, we ought to hear what they have to say.
Sonny, we ought to hear what they have to say. No.
One of the really iconic scenes in the movie is the scene where Sonny and Tom are arguing, and it's a really highly charged, emotional piece, and I think that it would really resonate with the audience. So it's important for us to get that right in the game.
Business, not personal.
Even the shooting of your father was business, not personal, Sonny.
Well, then business will have to suffer, all right?
It's a really good example of where all the things that we do to bring real life into the game really work together. So first of all, we worked with Robert Duvall and James Caan, and we got their performance. We feel like, particularly for that scene, that was what needed to drive it, was the acting ability of those two guys.
You give them one message. I want Salazzo. If not, it's all out war. We go to mattresses, all right?
Father wouldn't want to hear this. This is business, not personal, son.
They shot my father. That's business? Your ass.
Even the shooting of your father was business, not personal, Sonny.
We did both a voiceover session and what we call a face-over session. Face-over is facial motion capture. We have 10 different cameras at different angles, and it's something that was pioneered predominantly in the film industry.
Oh, God damn it. We need some help here.
From there, we have a really strong base in which to build the highly intense emotional moments.
Listen, Tom.
And then we take that to our motion capture stage. We play back that audio, and then we have the actors on stage match their performance to the vocal performance that we got earlier.
Listen, Tom, do me a favor. Please, no more advice on how to patch things up.
A lawyer with his briefcase can steal more than 100 men with guns.
Hey, kid, listen. Believe me, if you ever have 100 guys with guns on your side, whatever you do, don't trade them in for some fucking lawyer.
One of the really other cool things about using the actors is that Whilst we take a lot of time and effort to write the scripts here, when we take that script in and we walk through it with James Caan, he'll tell us, you know, Sonny really wouldn't say that. You know, he would say this.
Shoot the place up, bada bing, bada boom. By the way, I didn't say bada boom. Bada bing is enough. We're gonna drive by, gonna shoot the place up, bada bing. Then we're gonna have a nice little weenie roast, you know what I'm saying? Bonfire. I don't know, a weenie roast. We're gonna drive by and we're gonna shoot the place up real good, bada bing. Then we're gonna have ourselves a nice little bonfire, a pig roast.
Nobody can be Sonny like James Caan can. There really is just an incredible richness of audio quality in this game that I just don't think you're going to see in any other games.
Mobface is, in short, a creative player. So basically what we've given the player an opportunity to do is create your own mobster.
But we'll see about that.
What you'll be able to do is go in there and start off right off the bat and say, okay, what kind of face is this guy gonna have? From there, you can get the basics. You can adjust his eyes, you can give him beady eyes, you can give him big staring eyes. You move on down to his mouth, his nose, his ears, and then there's really a lot of details that you can add from there.
Maybe if I broke your legs, you'd understand.
Well, then you get to move on to his body. So you decide his body type, and from there we move on to a huge amount of apparel, from leisure suits to very basic t-shirts and slacks. It's really an ability to give your character detail that'll make him different from any other character that there could be. In most games, you're playing someone else's character. This is, you're immediately becoming a part of the Godfather world.
Hey, Mom. How you doing? Looking sharp there, Pally.
Very rarely does a film get to define a genre as The Godfather did. And we wanted to do the same thing in our area, in the game. And we knew one of the areas we could start with was in the control scheme itself. So we coined what we call the black hand control mechanic, which is a very innovative way of manipulating the controller. So we start in what we call a white box. And we have very, very limited animations, but it's all about getting that controller to feel right in the player's hands. So if you want to charge a punch, you pull back and your character will charge up a punch to intimidate or throw a more powerful attack. To throw quick attacks, simply flick forward and you can string together your own combos. You can then grab the controllers, you're manhandling the controller itself, while your player is manhandling the opponent on screen. So you start to see this extension of your hands. And then what would the Godfather be without a strangling mechanic? So to strangle, you click down while you've got this controller head. It's a very visceral feeling.
One of the things I really like about the system is the amount of control it gives the player over the various moves that you can pull off. It uses the controller in ways that many games have not used before. But also from a technological point of view, it was a relatively complex system for us to build.
The black hand control allows for the most intense experience because every attack is at your fingertips, and it really feels like an extension of your hands.